The wheelchair flipped over, and my father stopped breathing for a second. He thought our nanny had hurt us, but what he saw next shattered everything he believed about his own family. My name is Daniel Reyes, and I'm from California, USA. Today, I'm sharing a story about my father, a powerful businessman, a false accusation, and the day the truth saved our family. 5 years ago, my dad, Alexander Reyes, was known as a man of steel. He owned one of the largest construction companies on the West Coast. People respected him, feared him, obeyed him, but at home, he was broken. 2 years earlier, a tragic car accident had taken my mother's life and left my twin brother Lucas and me paralyzed from the waist down. Doctors across Europe and the US gave the same verdict: irreversible spinal damage. We would never walk again. Dad stopped believing in miracles after that. He buried himself in work and handed control of the house to his older sister, Margaret Collins. Aunt Margaret acted like a savior, organizing our medical care, managing the staff, controlling everything. Dad trusted her completely. Then 6 months before that shocking day, a quiet woman named Elena Cruz was hired as our caretaker. She wasn't a nurse from Switzerland. She didn't have elite credentials. She just had determination and belief. That afternoon, Dad came home early after receiving a furious call from Aunt Margaret. "She's abusing the boys," Margaret had shouted over voicemail. "She forced them out of their wheelchairs, and my platinum brooch is missing. She's a thief." Dad stormed into our backyard ready to fire Elena on the spot. But when he pushed open the glass doors, he froze. There we were. Lucas and I were standing. Our wheelchairs were tipped over in the grass. Our legs were shaking violently, and Elena was kneeling between us, supporting our weight with her shoulders. "Straight backs, warriors," she encouraged softly. "Look at the horizon, not the ground." We weren't crying. We weren't in pain. We were fighting. Dad dropped his sunglasses. They shattered on the marble floor. For 2 years, he had been told our muscles were dead, that growth would only make things worse, that we were fragile, crystal boys, as Aunt Margaret often said. But Crystal doesn't sweat. Crystal doesn't tremble with effort. Crystal doesn't laugh. "I'm taller than you now," Lucas joked, wobbling but standing. Dad collapsed to his knees in the grass. He touched my calf. The muscle was tight, alive. "They're walking," he whispered. Before he could process the miracle, Aunt Margaret marched into the garden with the family lawyer. "There," she yelled. "She's forcing them into unnatural positions. And she stole from me." Dad opened Elena's bag. Inside, he found Margaret's platinum orchid brooch. Elena turned pale. "I swear I didn't take it," she said. "Please believe me." Logic said she was guilty. Evidence was in his hand. But something didn't add up. Dad had recently upgraded the mansion's security system: facial recognition, motion sensors, digital logs. An engineer's habit. He trusted systems more than emotions. "Elena was in the kitchen at 10 a.m., Dad said slowly. "And your bedroom door never opened during that time, Aunt Margaret." Margaret's confident smile flickered. Then Dad remembered something else. The brooch had a custom dual lock clasp. Couldn't fall into someone's bag. It required deliberate pressure at 2 exact points. Someone had placed it there. Silence swallowed the garden. What Dad discovered in the following weeks was worse than theft. Margaret had been isolating us deliberately, canceling advanced therapy sessions, rejecting experimental rehabilitation programs, controlling the household finances. As long as we were dependent and fragile, she remained in power. Healthy sons meant she became irrelevant. Elena, on the other hand, had been secretly training us in the garage, building parallel bars from PVC pipes, using resistance ropes, encouraging micromovements daily. She believed that partial nerve response was still possible at our age. And she was right. Our diagnosis wasn't hopeless. It was neglected. That evening, Dad didn't sign guardianship papers for a clinic in Switzerland. Instead, he fired the lawyer. He removed Margaret from financial authority. And for the first time since Mom's death, he chose to be a father instead of a businessman. We didn't run the next day or the next month, but step by step, with therapy, discipline, and faith, we walked. Power without presence destroys families. Blind trust can be dangerous, even when it's family. And sometimes, the real miracle isn't medicine. It's someone who refuses to give up on you. Never underestimate the power of belief, truth, and courage. And never treat people like they are broken beyond repair. Sometimes the strongest chains are the ones placed by fear, not fate. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs hope today. This is Moralist Channel, where real-life inspired stories teach powerful lessons. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Moralist for more emotional and life-changing stories. See you in the next one.